Stock market is at all-time highs, and the labor market is flashing warning signs. SpaceX and OpenAI set to go public. Is this another dot-com bubble? Are AI stocks the new internet? What happens if OpenAI and SpaceX get trillion-dollar valuations off the IPO? Could SpaceX absorb Tesla? What about Anthropic? Where do they fit in? What happens to jobs if AI continues to accelerate at this pace? Stick around, we're going to discuss these topics. The labor market looks strong on paper, but there's definitely cracks underneath. White-collar jobs being laid off left and right. Tech hiring has slowed dramatically. Entry-level jobs are becoming harder to get. AI is supposedly already replacing customer service, coding, data analyst, and legal support. The unemployment rate may not be telling the whole story. The economy is splitting into two economies: the asset owners and the wage earners. Look around. You probably know people who now have multiple jobs where in the past they only had one because everything's so much more expensive. Credit card debt is at all-time highs, but consumers are still spending the money because of stock gains, home equity, and stimulus after effects. Why does the stock market keep going higher? The stock market doesn't price in today, it prices in the future. We have a new Fed chair who, under this administration, may lower rates. I don't see it happening this year, but it could happen. AI productivity expectations are massive. Investors believe OpenAI, SpaceX, NVIDIA, Anthropic, and Tesla and other robotic companies are going to lead the way. Is it hopium or is it real? Are we living through the railroad boom or the internet boom or the smartphone boom all over again? Is this the prefaces of greatness? And while Main Street feels weak, Wall Street's euphoric. The disconnect is unreal. And like I tried to warn earlier, we're really moving into that K-shaped economy where the people who own assets, they're going to live well. The people who don't own assets are going to be struggling even harder than they are today. And who knows about the war in Iran? We got some good news over the weekend. That oil price is down a little bit, but it's not firm. Let's hope it holds. OpenAI is about to go public on their IPO. Will they be 300 billion, 500 billion, 1 trillion? All these are being talked about. I think it'll be a $1 trillion valuation right off the bat, and SpaceX is probably right behind it with probably the same or higher valuations. Here's an interesting thing that I want you to think about with SpaceX. Elon owns so much SpaceX that when it goes public, he could theoretically use that money to buy Tesla, merge the two companies into one, and then Elon will never get removed from the board, never have to really deal or answer to anybody except for the government appliance rules that are out there like SOX. SpaceX dominates the launches. The fact that they can reuse the rockets is something that NASA can never figure out. And they're going to continue to be the lead space vehicle that all the government agencies use in place of NASA. Among others, but SpaceX will lead the way. Just think about SpaceX a little more. Think about Elon and what he's got going on with Starlink, the Mars missions, the moon, space data centers, global internet, and with robotics, maybe even space manufacturing. SpaceX is becoming the backbone for space travel as we know it. And while many will say it doesn't make sense for Tesla and SpaceX to join, I think that it makes a lot of good sense. I don't know that for a fact. This obviously is not financial advice and it's all speculation, but Elon has had a lot of trouble with regulators in the past. Having multiple public companies and being the CEO of multiple public companies is going to drag him down. Or if he has the ability to bring them together and be more efficient, I think they absolutely can play on each other. There's a lot of speculation he was buying a lot of the Cybertrucks for his Occupy Mars mission. And if we think about it from a battery perspective, the power perspective, and everything he's trying to build, I think it all kind of does blend together pretty easy. And if I were Elon and I wanted full control, I'd absolutely figure out how to combine the companies. And I know a lot of people may be thinking, oh, well, the Tesla shareholders would have to approve that. But maybe that's why Elon's trying to give them first access to SpaceX IPO share. Back to OpenAI. OpenAI, ChatGPT was one of the first out there. I use ChatGPT, I use Gemini, I use Anthropic with Claude. There's a lot of great AI out there. I think because ChatGPT was kind of that first one in everybody's house, is that first mover's advantage. I know who people that don't even Google anymore, they use ChatGPT to ask all their questions. But I think long term, stocks like Google with Gemini, OpenAI with ChatGPT, SpaceX, and Anthropic, when they go public, I think those are going to be really good plays. I think Amazon owning a lot of Anthropic is probably a really good play as well. So let's talk about the bubble it's forming. Is it really a bubble? Is this the top of the bubble? Is this where it's about to pop? What happens after OpenAI and SpaceX go public? Well, there's still a lot of great companies that are going to come IPO again this year or later, like Anthropic, Ramp. There's a million other ones out there. OpenAI and SpaceX are just the highly talked about ones. And if you look at what SpaceX put out with their earnings, I think the stock's going to go up super high and it's not going to warrant that value. It might almost be like a Rivian, where Rivian jumped up massively into like $300 or $400. Everybody was all buying in euphorically, and then the market bounced out of it and the stock dropped rapidly. I don't plan on buying any SpaceX shares on the day that it goes public. I have some SpaceX shares already from when I bought in to fundraise to their venture capital account before it went public, and then I have some shares through another vehicle. OpenAI, man, that's another one. I can see OpenAI going for $1 trillion, and I can see him commanding it, and I can see him holding it for a while. And while I don't think AI is going to take everybody's job like we're worried about, I think it's going to augment the crap out of our job. I think we have to do everything we can to make sure we understand AI and we can prompt and we can understand what we're prompting, how we're prompting, what we're trying to solve, and when we get garbage out, how to fix our garbage in. AI, without a doubt, is going to change the way we're doing things. It's already changed so much. And if you've not played around with Claude, I highly encourage you to just Google or YouTube a couple of guys out there who are using Claude. It's crazy. They have their own agents and they can call and text them from their phone to get the agent to do whatever they have it set up to do. It's amazing. Are we in a bubble? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Again, none of this is financial advice. I really think that the economy is running hot, no doubt. I worry about us, where we are with the labor. I worry about where we are with the war in Iran. But I think we have a long way to go. I think we've seen a lot of capex purchased here where companies are really, really, really trying to thread that needle on their capex budgets and getting that return on investment. And I think we're going to start seeing that return on investment, but I do think we're going to see some companies that invested in the wrong stuff fail, which is only going to make this bubble feel like it's going to burst that much easier. Again, not financial advice, but I think we have at least 6 months before we can even think about, is this really a bubble that's about to pop? Or is there a lot of room left to go? One thing we know about President Trump and this administration is they definitely want to get better interest rates. One way they could get interest rates is by crashing the market, but I think he's so conscious of the market that that's not going to happen. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on what you think, if we're really in that bubble or what's going to happen. I think there's a lot of great opportunities out there with some stocks, whether it be stocks that provide power, stocks that provide hardware, and even software companies. We've seen a full cycle, and I think we're going to go another cycle. The ones I'm really paying attention to or your Google and your Amazon. I think that they are really set up and positioned well. They may not 100x or anything like that because they're already up pretty high, but I think they have a lot of potential. Of course, there's a lot of other stocks out there that are going to be better with return on investment. See how that stock that you're looking at fits into the ecosystem, whether it be with data centers or whether it be doing something with the space industry. Take a look at them, see what they're doing. Make sure you're paying close attention to all these data center fallout. There's a lot of data centers that are being constructed or in plans of being constructed, and communities are revolting against them. Who owns those data centers? What were they planning on putting in there? Those might be opportunities for puts. Again, like I said, not financial advice, but I think we have about 6 more months before we realize if this is a really frothy bubble or we got a lot of room left in this bubble to go. And while I know people are chasing these individual stocks, I still think owning like QQQ, VT, any of those ETFs, and probably the best and safest way to play any of this. So over the next 6 months, let's continue to watch the labor market. Let's watch our GDP. Let's watch the war in Iran, and let's kind of see where this is all playing out. Let's keep a really close eye on data centers and where they're being constructed and how that's going. Are they actually getting passed or not? Me personally, I'm going to pass on the IPOs and see what happens when they settle down. OpenAI, I'll probably look to do something with first, because I think SpaceX is going to come in just overly valued because Elon has an amazing following with retail investors, and I could just see SpaceX going to the moon. I would love to own some SpaceX besides what I already do own, because I do think long term they're the backbone, like I said. I just worry in the short term it might be like the Rivian example that I mentioned. So let's continue to watch this and see where it all plays out. Let me know where you think it's going to go, and if you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe, thumbs up button, and then hit the bell. Once you hit the bell, click on all so you don't miss an episode. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all the feedback. Check out our Facebook page, like and subscribe, comment down below. Stick around. We're going to do great things.